Nothing but net, and that is a great way to bring us into All-Star break here at Hypotheticals. I'm dressed in some casual All-Star break outfit here today, Tommy, to relax into our little break. My name's Jez. I'm the official voice of the Coburg Giants, and here to guide us through a little bit of NBA stuff. Tom, Hot Take Machine, how are you going today? Other than absolutely cashing in shots in your background, people can check that out on YouTube. How's things?
I spend a lot of time working on that shot, mate. And obviously you can see the rim is a little ajar, but, I'm just cash from deep. No, I'm going good, enjoying parts of the NBA All-Star break. Much to get into. I'm excited to discuss the ins and outs of it.
Well, I'm going to tease people. If you didn't watch the NBA All-Star game, it was amazing. But we're going to get into that shortly. We got to check on it right now in our segment, Get the Temperature, because it's a heat check. All right, that explosion is well worth it here on Heat Check at Hypotheticals, where we get our temperatures on different things around the NBA. And Tom, I had to kick us off with an NBA All-Star game that was actually good.
What?
Now, I know that this is unexpected, but it was good because of one reason and one reason only. And that was one. Victor Wembanyama actually brought it. So for people that didn't watch, every year the NBA All-Star game is actually borderline embarrassing to be an NBA fan of. It's open threes, it's open layups, people are standing around. It's like if you had 10 Joel Embiids out there walking around like it's days away from retirement. But this game, it's World versus USA. Now, they confused the marketing of this. Let me explain what the teams were, because this was way too confusing.
I didn't get it. There were like 5 All-Star games, mate.
Yes,
I was just trying to lock into one of them.
Okay, let me explain what it was. It was world team, so players that are not from the USA. It was old heads, so LeBron and KD were on the same team, and it was young stars. It was like Scotty Barnes and Anthony Edwards. So that was the 3 teams. There was then 3 games where each team plays each other. Okay, that's fine. Sure. Okay, and then whoever had the best record out of those games is in the final. That's really how it went. Okay, that's simply it. And the first game was World versus the Young Stars. Okay. And Wemby started it off by just wiping shots off the backboard, okay? He said, we're not getting weak sauce in here. And all of a sudden, people had to start playing, okay? And it was amazing. Let me explain why the NBA All-Star game was so good. Here's things that we saw that I've never seen, okay? First of all, we got one of the great 1v1 competitions of Kawhi versus Wemby, a challenge I never knew I needed. We got Jalen Brunson picking up Jamal Murray full court of defense at about the 6-minute mark of a game. We got an overtime. We got Wemby screaming into his hands because he lost the first game. We got Kawhi in full aspiration mode, and we got Kawhi scoring 31 points in a quarter. And more than anything else, Tom, we got defense in an NBA All-Star game. It was incredible. Here's how good it was, guys. Game 3 was so good, I had to go make a coffee. I hid the scores on my NBA app because I didn't want to know what the score was, all right? I don't know what Adam Silver's done. It wasn't really Adam Silver, it was Wemby, but they fixed the game. Up until the last game, this was actually a really fun All-Star game.
I watched the last game in its entirety, and I did notice that it was the young stripes versus the old stars. Maybe I got
they got that the wrong way around. So the old guys were the stripes for some reason, the young guys were the stars. That was an obvious mistake. Clearly flipped that one, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
The marketing team to fix that one up for next year. Anyway, I watched that game and I realized that the young ones actually gave a crap. I saw like people playing defense, like Tyrese Maxey got a steal and then pulled up for 3, and it was actually cash. It actually felt like an NBA game where people give a crap. And I realized that maybe if we have more, this younger crop will actually care, and that will bring a bit of energy back into the NBA All-Star game. And maybe that will leak out into the other areas of the weekend.
Well, here's the other thing that I just wanted to say is, like, if you want to see what was the best part of this whole weekend, it's the final 4 minutes of Game 3. It's World versus Stripes, and it's a Wemby versus Kawhi showdown that is going to get you standing up and screaming. Both of them are in their absolute bag, and it's actually incredible.
I did see Wemby pull up a midi J over KD in one of the games, and that was actually cash. And do you know what I've realized? This is something, I don't know if you've thought about this, like, if I could pinpoint one thing that would really pique my interest in the All-Star game, I would love to see a technical foul called. I want to see someone get a flagrant. I want to see, like, because that's when you know that people are taking it seriously. Like, they need to ship in, like, they need to airdrop in Dylan Brooks for like, 3 minutes and then see him, like, maybe spear tackle LeBron for a play or pick him up full court, like, if we're being honest.
I love it. It's like in a WWE, it's like the music should start and then Beef Stew runs out and just spear tackles KD.
Do you know what they could? They should have had, like, because they had some Pistons there, like, and I think, I wonder if they brought in a couple of Pistons and a couple of Hornets. You know what I mean? Just because, like, whoop, what happened last week? And what if they did like a 3v3, like a little pickup game?
Yeah.
I'd watch that. I'd 100, like, the tension to be so, are we Malice in the Palace 2.5? Like, what's happening right now?
I like it. I just wanted to say one other thing, and this is just a little side point about Wemby. I thought everyone said really brought the energy, and that's what set the tone for today's games. That's why it was good. Not the last game, by the way. If you watch the last game, that was classic old NBA All-Star games. The previous 3 games were great All-Star games. But what happened was Wemby, something I realized as I was watching today is that Wemby is single-handedly bringing the mid-range back to the NBA. Because what you watched in this All-Star game is no one was trying to get shots around the rim. Everyone was, like, shooting long twos. And it's simply because Wemby's there. And I'm like, is Wemby going to bring back the long two? I'm here for it. I want to see...
Chris Middleton, eat your heart out.
That's it. I want to see three-point pump fake, step on the line, deep two. That's what I want.
The worst shot in basketball becomes the best shot in basketball.
Tom, look, I think for me, that was a certainly scorching 90 degrees for me. Felt like I had to hold on to my eyebrows for the first 3 quarters of this All-Star game, which I've never said before in any All-Star game. This was really incredible.
It's just become the sort of thing where, like, people automatically hate on the weekend. People automatically hate on the All-Star game. And for good reason, I'll add. But I wonder if, like, this is the turning point. The game actually becomes interesting again, or for the first time, perhaps. I don't know if you saw KD absolutely roasting every All-Star game since the 70s. Reckons he's watched the first quarter since the 70s of every game and was saying that they weren't even putting, like, effort in back then. Maybe not. But I wonder if this is the turning point and people actually have to swallow their pride and their hot takes and realize the hotter take is that it's actually fun to watch.
Did you have anything else from the All-Star weekend?
A couple of things. I mean, we might get into it a bit later, but it was good to see Dame win the 3-point contest on one leg. He must be the first and only person to get invited into that contest who hasn't actually played a game in the regular season. The fact that he still managed to torch the rest of the competition really says something for for him. Poor Bobby Portis. I wanted to see Bobby Portis put up a better showing, but Mans didn't make it out of the first round. The other thing I wanted to look, I don't want to crap on the All-Star weekend too much. The less said about the dunk contest, the better. But do you know what the thing I hate the most about the All-Star weekend is? The commentary. Like, I don't know if
Tell me more.
Mate, like, everything they say just feels so forced and cringe and, like, low-hanging fruit. They're like the 3-point contest. I'd really want to get one in here. Oh, you're joking.
You're kidding.
He's going to have to hit 4 or 5. Yeah. Ideally 5 or 5. He's missed it.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's really going to want to hit this money ball. You don't say.
Oh, like, and I was just thinking, I was like, can we get the Hornets announcer in maybe for a year? Like, just add a little bit of spice. Like, even, and it's the same in the All-Star game. Like, I'm watching it and they're like, oh, the Stripes have opened up a 15-0 lead. Like, they've just gone, and the Stars have just gone cold. And you're like, yeah, they've missed every, like, logo 3 they've taken for the last 5 possessions. Like, there's just not a lot of like excitement. I'm not even looking for like deep basketball analysis, but if you could just have one or the other, like genuine excitement for like a Wemby KD matchup or a Wemby Kawhi matchup, or maybe like a little bit of analysis, like talking about this is, what he's trying to do here, who's coming off the pin down, something like that.
You're right. It's in an All-Star game where it actually was interesting what was going on. We got none of that. We got exactly what you're talking about. We got they could basically write the script pre-game almost.
Was it a ChatGPT script?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know. Was it AI written?
Look, I know you said less said about the dunk contest, the better, but I just want to give me just 1 second here with The Rock. I'm just going to talk about not only what's bad about it, but how to fix it. Okay,
All right, go on then.
Here we go. All right, so I wanted to say it's getting more and more embarrassing as an NBA fan to have the dunk contest involved in the NBA All-Star thing. It's actually embarrassing. Like, I feel bad. Young kids watching it. It's actually uninspiring. It's like I want to watch less NBA because I'm watching this. My question is this what it feels like to be a Kings fan? And if so, those poor people, because this is brutal. We saw someone slip over. It's, as I said to you on chat, this is a borderline a slapstick comedy event at this point. The headline name was Jackson Hayes, who's literally the backup center for the Lakers. Here's what I was going to say. I've got 2 solutions. First one is...
Oh, actually, can I just...
jump in?
I pause? I'm going to pause you right there. Save your solutions for a segment later on.
Okay.
That's all I'll say. Because I think you're right. I think it's worth some investigation, but I think that you'll have a better opportunity for your solutions in a later segment.
Okay, great. Okay, well, in that case, I'm done there. So, Tom, we need to move away from the All-Star weekend here. What else you got? Because it's obviously not in the All-Star weekend, but we've had a trade deadline since the last chat. So, hit us with it.
I thought there was some notable like winners and losers in the trade deadline. I thought the Bulls were absolutely ridiculous. This felt like a 2K level trade off or trade out of all of their players. I've long been on team Kobe White, justice for Kobe.
Yep.
They've sent man into not necessarily basketball purgatory, but like, I don't know what they're doing. He's been fantastic off the bench in the starting role. They've traded him away for a bag of chips and a high five. I just don't understand it. And also, they traded away Vooch. I feel like the one trade no one's talking about is Vooch to Boston. A, how did Boston keep getting away with this? And B, why would they trade away basically a walking double-double? Vooch might be one of the most underrated centers. It's because he's no Jokic. He's no as far as centers go, he's just not inspiring. I get that. He doesn't really have much creativity to his game, but he's like a monster pick and pop. He's a poor man's Brook Lopez. But a poor man's prime Brook Lopez. You know what I mean? Like year 3 in the Bucks, like averaging like 15 and 8. But Vooch, I just don't understand. Like, they've let him walk to Boston for, again, a handshake and like a lollipop. And it's made Boston, who are, I believe, second in the East as we record, just an even more, like, bigger threat.
Mate, I think you've accidentally activated a redacted that I wasn't going to share this episode because I don't think it was fully cooked, but you know what? I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's head to redacted. So for new listeners, this is our segment Redacted where we like to talk about conspiracy theories. Now, Tom, you're just talking about Vooch going to Boston, and I bet you're thinking this conspiracy theory is about Boston, but you'd be wrong, mate.
Okay.
I've been working on an even more intense conspiracy theory that goes beyond the realm of basketball and starts dipping into the world of multi-dimensions and things like this.
Multi-universe, yep.
This is it. This is my question to you. And I think in some ways, like for an NBA fan, this is probably the best way ever to understand multiple dimension theory and like the butterfly effect and everything like that.
Right. Okay.
You weren't expecting this from a Vooch trade, but here we go. Do you think that the Kings and the Bulls are like alternate dimension versions of each other? Now, the Bulls have performed slightly better than the Kings, slightly better.
Not so much, but
and that's only because the West has been stronger. But I really think they're essentially the same team in just slightly different contexts. What they are is play-in royalty. Every year, they're checking that box, right? Unless they're terrible. It's like their goal is to hit 40 wins. That's like their goal of the season. If they can hit that, they've like nailed the season.
Hey, we've had a good season. Yeah.
They've both had like some success in the past, but like it's almost, we're looking 2 decades in the past now, for the Kings and for the Bulls. Like,
2.5 decades.
It's rough. So for me, when I think about multiple dimension theory and just like how do things shake out, I feel like when I look at those two teams, you basically get a look at how each of these teams would perform in the other conference. And to just put a finer point on that, DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine currently play on the Kings.
I was going to say.
Yeah, it is just... Anyway, so this is my redacted. It goes beyond basketball and into a multiple dimension theory. But yeah, this is something I was kind of cooking up this week.
Sometimes I watch a Kings game and I think, I've seen this game before. They were just wearing red and white. And now they're wearing purple and white,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Am I colorblind? Like, what's happening? No, you're spot on. And this actually takes me... This is a pretty natural segue to... sort of, I think, the second half of this heat check, discussing kind of the All-Star break, how we got here, teams that maybe finished strong into the All-Star break with a bit of hope, and teams that limped towards the end. And the Kings on a 14 losing streak as we record, and they didn't even get fined for tanking. That seems like a generational L.
Yeah.
You hate to see it, because basically what Adam Silver's decided is that the Kings are so bad, but he's decided that seems about right, and that doesn't seem like they are over or underperforming. They're performing as is probably accurate, and it's tough for a Kings supporter. We're not lighting the beam today.
It's incredible to be like a tanking team where you're just playing your best players. Like most teams that are tanking, the strategy is like bench the players. Utah Jazz, bench the players for the fourth quarter and just play it out. The Kings are just like, their tanking is just play. And your team is so bad that it's going to rack up losses. 14 losses in a row. Man, it is... I've said it before, but to be a Kings fan is one of truly like... I have so much respect for a Kings fan.
So much long suffering.
Like the heights of being a Kings fan is like lighting the beam. It's like DeMarcus Cousins.
Yep.
It's like Halliburton was on your team. That
De'Aaron Fox, like a few seasons ago, they had a decent season there.
But it's tough.
Go on.
No, I was going to go to another team.
Let's go to another team because while we're still in redacted, I've got a little impromptu redacted as well.
Hit us with it, Tommy.
Not sure if you've seen this, but currently, obviously, at the top of each conference, we've got Detroit in the East, OKC in the West. I'm not sure if you've realized, but Detroit have a better record than OKC right now. And no one is talking about that. No one is talking about Detroit. There's been a bit of mention here or there, like especially when they started the season strong, like, oh, they were bad a few seasons ago, rah. Like, people will remember that OKC, there was discussions of them being the next, like, 96 Bulls, 15-16 Warriors, like, are they going to crack, like, 70 wins, 73 wins? Like, what's going to happen here? That's just fallen away. A couple of injuries. I think they got a warning. Did they get a warning from the commissioner for some? I feel like there's been some kind of suspicious benchings going on. And meanwhile, Detroit have a better record than them. No one's mentioned it at all. And what the heck?
Mate, how are you feeling about Detroit for the finals this year?
I think it's likely.
Wow.
I think if they... they've been blooded. Obviously, they've got to get through a pretty tough back end of the conference. They're a guaranteed second round. I would say they've almost got a ticket to the conference finals. So, I like their chances. I like their chances a lot. I've seen some Cade Cunningham MVP ponderings and musings, and I didn't even hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're like... I know that he's being talked about a lot more, and he was playing in the All-Star game today, but dude, Jalen Duren
Yeah, he's
is
actually good.
he is like exactly my desired build for a center.
Yep.
This is a guy that can set hard screens, rebounds really well. Like if he's got a mismatch, he can punish him, rolls hard,
Pick and roll is just dangerous. Yeah.
yeah, and it's just like this is all you want from a center, and this dude's absolutely crushing it. This is just like a for me. This is just a perfect like model design. Like if Klay Thompson's a model design shooter, this is like a model design center for me.
And I think the underrated thing that people aren't talking about a lot is that this team are pretty much all young. They've got some older players. I'm thinking of your Duncan Robinsons and that kind of thing. Tobias Harris, exactly. But like most of them are young and most of them have been available. They haven't had many injuries. And like, how much do you hear people talk about like, oh, well, if only this team's healthy, then they're going to be great. OKC are also young, but they've been injured. Like SGA's had some time out. J-Dub's not played much of the season as far as I understand it. They had to go get another point guard at the trade deadline. Yeah, like even AJ, I've forgotten his last name, but AJ. You know, he's been injured as well. He's been one of their point guards. Yeah, I think that Detroit are going to come to the postseason not all banged up, and people are like they're going to be able to play kind of like a Thibodeau sort of Knicks, like everyone's playing 40 minutes. You know what I mean? And they're fine with it.
Yeah, dude. They're gonna be so good this off season. I actually kind of do hope it's Detroit versus OKC for a finals, because I think that's two teams that can really throw some haymakers at each other. I feel like it could be actually a really good finals.
They also like they love a fight. Like we mentioned it before, but they really care about it. I mean, beef stew is going to kill someone one day, but you know what? Yeah. Who cares? Because they actually give a rat's. And this is something we've been talking along about. Let's not get into Bucks yet, but long been talking about with the Bucks. Like Bobby's the only one out there willing to get a T for the team, and I need to see more of that. But look, I've got another team I want to talk about, but I'll go to you, mate, because I
just wanted to touch on one team really here with this segment. And this is a little bit trade deadline, but I want to get your thoughts. Dude, what did you think of James Harden to the Cavs?
Yeah, I was going to go here. Yeah. I actually don't even hate it.
Really? Okay, go for it.
I don't even hate it.
Tell me what you like.
Because Garland's had an injured toe for 3 seasons, man. Like for anyone who's been following along at home, like he's just not been available. He's been good and like when he plays, but he just doesn't play much. And I wonder if Harden, like if this is his... Is this Harden's like comeback story, come from behind, goes to the finals sort of season? Like he's kind of riding on the coattails. Obviously the Cavs were first seed by a long shot last year. They had a shocking start to the season. They're now sitting pretty good at like, I think they're 4th or 5th. Like they'd be happy with that. The Cavs are a bit of a threat in the East. Donovan Mitchell is like hungry for it. I don't know, man. I actually don't hate it at all. Also, I'm no Harden apologist, but I will say that he gets unfairly crapped on with his defense, but he has played good defense when necessary in the bubble. I'm thinking specifically, I recognize this is like 6 years ago at this stage, but there was some lockdown defense there. And yeah, I don't know, man. That's a pretty dynamic and that's a pretty hectic backcourt, you know?
I love that you've gone this route, because this is, for me, I agree with everything you've said, but I feel like there's a key thing that's being missed here. Okay. And it has nothing to do with actual like play-to-play basketball. It's got to do with both of these, the franchise of the Cavaliers and who James Harden is and what happens in the playoffs.
So, culture fit, like vibe fit is an interesting point.
It's an interesting one only in that when I think of a team that I was expecting this season to kind of like collapse at some point in the playoffs, like a team that's just that something goes wrong and it's like 3 wins in a row for the other team, it's kind of like a Cavs. And I think of a player that also kind of has that type of mentality. And I think of James Harden. Like, I don't know if you've heard the nickname Small Game James. Have you heard that for him?
Oh, it's tough.
Like, he does it. And I feel like this could be a double flame out. Like, we could have a worst of the worst where we have a team collapse and we also have James Harden collapse at the same time. I expect this postseason for him to have like 2 games where it's like, here comes the old James Harden, like a 40 and 11. Right. You know, something like that.
Right.
But, yeah, man, I don't know. The postseason vibes for these two does not bode well. But I guess using maths, a negative and a negative does make a positive. So
But the only thing I'd say is they don't have much time to work it out. Like they've
Yeah.
got half a season, obviously, but also in a broader sense, Harden is at the tail end of his career. He's got a couple of good seasons left in him, if not just one good season left in him. Donovan Mitchell is no spring chicken. And I can just see if the Cavs don't have a decent offseason to work with or make a really deep run, they kind of back themselves into a hole here. They've traded away some years. Obviously, Darius Garland was a bit younger. And they traded away a pick, I think a second rounder. Not huge, like not ridiculous, but, still something. So they best believe they're going to at least a second round. You'd want to go to the conference finals, though, to make it worth it.
Yeah, and I don't know if I see him doing that. Anyway, let's Tom, we've been dancing around. Did you have anything else that you wanted to touch on before we
No, I think it's time.
I think it's time. It's been a big trade deadline for this team in that some things happen, but not the big thing. It's time to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks in Bucks Chat. Now, for people that haven't interacted with this podcast before, this is one of the longest segment intros you'll see for a podcast.
In the internet, the entire internet.
In the entire
has
internet.
the longest segment intro on a Bucks-related
Like, look at this.
podcast.
You think it's going to end here? We're barely halfway. We're actually not even halfway right now. Anyway, Tom.
I'm so happy we brought this back because last episode we just had the...
Yeah.
We had the old one. Oh, isn't that glorious? Are we going to update that?
There's rumors. Yeah, there's rumors that there's a new Bucks Chat animation intro coming in. There's rumors. There's rumors.
Is the font going to stay the same? That's my question, because that's a pretty diabolical font.
Well, everybody, welcome to Bucks Chat, where we're going to do 5 minutes here because we've got to keep it tight. We can go forever on the Bucks. You and I are both fans of Milwaukee Bucks. We watch every game, so you don't have to.
Jeez.
At this stage, that's how it is. And we've got to really focus on two main things here. The who wasn't traded and who was traded. And we can kind of go what else is happening since then. But Tom, where do you want to kick us off, mate?
Well, we've got to start with who wasn't traded.
Okay.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Mm-hmm.
We were both on the edge of our seats. We were ready to pull the pin on an emergency podcast for at least 2 weeks. I was checking my phone like an absolute madman. And, anything that came out of Giannis's lips, I'm decoding in some sort of, ancient language, Da Vinci Code level. What is he saying? Is there a hint here? Is there a trick? And it kind of, in the most anticlimactic way, nothing happened. And now I'm thinking, I'm like, was this the plan all along? Like, was he like lighting a fire under the team to be like, hey, I might go and we need to work this out? And has it worked?
Or was this the reverse Luka trade where instead of telling nobody and getting one sort of answer, you tell everybody and get no answers? Kind of flip it on them. Just see what's out there. Just kind of roll the dice, see what comes back. Who knows?
So does he stay? That's the real question.
I think I think this is like a storyline no one's going to be talking about, but I really think the end of this season is like extremely important as to whether he stays or not. I don't think it's necessarily like wins per se, but I think he's looking to see, is this a team that I can play with like next season and kind of go to war with? I think it's a bit more like that. Like we've won, for people that are not locked in on the Bucks, since Giannis has got injured, have gone on their biggest winning streak of the season. 3 games.
Hey, we're 5 of the last 6. Thank you very much.
And we've gone on our best, like, sort of run, which is 5 of the last 6. And so our team's actually looking locked in. And that has to do, I think, Tom, a little bit at least, with some of our new acquisitions. So we got a few newbies, and let's talk about them.
I'm very excited for this trade deadline for the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think you know where I'm going, but you'd be wrong. I'm excited for Ousmane Dieng. He was drafted in 2022 draft, round 1, pick 11. He's our round 1 pick that we haven't had in like 6 years. And we got him for, I don't even know what we got him for, not much.
An email from Chris Livingston, former Bucks center.
Essentially, he was drafted by OKC. So this is like the OKC, first round drafts that they've just got coming out their ears. He was drafted ahead of J Dub, ahead of J Will. So he was they really had some hopes and dreams and prayers for this man. Obviously, some of the other players, I'm thinking Chet, obviously J Dub, SGA, of course, progressed a lot quicker than what they anticipated. And so he didn't get much playing time. But, mate, for I've watched the 2 games he's played, and man's looking good. Pull up threes, off the dribble. He's bringing the ball up with confidence. Layups, can pass. He's tall as well. I'm getting like kind of real Timu's sort of, I don't want to say Timu Wemby, but like he's got that kind of long, gangly sort of fit. A Taco Fall sort of build. And he's young. Like I said, he's been in the league for 4 years, but like he's 22. We could build around him. I'm so excited, dude, for Usman Dang. Like, and he started. They've already had him start a game. Like, I get that Ryan Rollins was out for that game against OKC, which we won against the OKC, by the way.
Usman Jeng revenge game.
I'm hot on it. You heard it here first. Like, this could be it for us.
Yeah. Well, so let's talk about it. So Usman Jeng, I feel like there's a bit of trickle-down economics from the OKC in that he's only not getting minutes for them because they're too good. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
He's a good player. Their team is just so stacked. Like, he can't find minutes. And so we get the trickle-down economics of that, which is that we kind of get to buy low on someone who's actually good. And we can actually start building a sort of future Bucks around. Because what's happened with getting Cam Thomas, who we also got from Brooklyn, out of nowhere, honestly, one of the great John Horst moves of all time. I don't know how this happened. We've got Cam Thomas and we got Usman Jeng, and all of a sudden our team's younger, and we've actually got a bit of an identity now, which is like good scoring guards and sort of rounding out the team around that almost.
This is what you were talking about. We need I think Giannis cares more about identity than he does wins. Obviously, wins are important. He cares about people giving a crap. And I think that we've got a couple more people on the roster who have chips on their shoulder. Cam Thomas just got waived by the Nets. Clearly is a bit dirty about it, but has also been like giving the Bucks 40 pieces for the last 3 seasons for anyone paying attention. He doesn't play defense. Not great, but he scores. And I think he's basically filling the gap of where the Gary Trent Jr. fall off is. We needed another shooting guard who can create their own shot. We don't need another player who can stand in the corner and shoot threes. Like, we've got enough of those. We need someone who can actually dribble the ball up, take control of the offense for a few rounds, give KPJ a break, and give Ryan Rollins a break. I'm so excited for Cam Thomas, man. Like, when he pulled that deep one, like a few games ago, I was like, okay, here we go. Like, this actually could be it. And obviously Usman Jeng as well. Like, there's an element, I think, to him where he's like, I am that good, and like, yeah, I want to chip with OKC, but like I wasn't getting the running time or the minutes I expected to get. He's going to get minutes here. Like, I feel bad for Ajax, man. That man's not going to see minutes. But that's what happens when you don't have an offensive package. Sorry, real quick. Jericho Sims, I love him. He's been playing good. This man needs to look at the basket more. I don't know if you've seen, Mans never looks at the basket unless it's on a pick and roll, and that needs to change.
I think Jericho Sims is doing his role too well in a way.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly been told, like, dude, we need someone to just go out there, set some screens, dive to the basket, get rebounds. But the thing is, the dude is like, I agree. He could be used way more, but he's like really locked in on setting screens and getting rebounds. He's like, I'm going to hammer this and be good at that. And it's like, dude, we need you to sometimes score. Because when he like locks in, he's all right. Like, when he's thinking about it, he can finish around the rim and he's all right. But yeah, I agree with
Everyone
you.
can throw up a floater like every now and then, surely. Like,
yeah.
Look, have you got the clip of the clip of us talking about Doc's season? Because I have a hope and a dream that us discussing a Doc's coaching this season would somehow come full circle, and we would see a sort of redemption arc with that. Because at the moment, I still don't have much. I mean, I'll remind viewers that the win over the OKC was coached by one Darvin Ham, and not by Glenn Doc Rivers. So, not a great look for him. But we take any win we can get.
Look, I want to say, let's get into this clip. For people that haven't been listening, this was a clip that we said in November about Doc Rivers.
Is this Doc's best coached season so far?
Probably the Celtics have to be.
I mean,
in that category, but I mean, this is the best I've seen since that.
Jesus, it just ages good, doesn't it? It's.
Look,
I'm so optimistic. My eyes are so wide.
Look, here's what I'll say about this. Maybe Doc is the right coach for one player, and that's Cam Thomas. Because here's the thing. Cam Thomas clearly doesn't want plays drawn up for him. He wants to just cook. Doc Rivers doesn't want to draw up plays. We may have acted like the reason he might get 30...
and a negative.
Exactly. These two, they look at each other and they nod because both of them are getting exactly what they want. So it's so bad it's good in a way. I just had one last thing that I kind of wanted to talk about with the Bucks, which is just the incredible move. Like this season, there's all these really good draft class. I don't know if you've heard, it's a really good draft class. It's just there's just people everywhere that are great to get. And at this point, we've had some incredible tanking moves by some teams. It seems like almost a third of the league is tanking. Yeah. And when the league zags, we like to zig. The Milwaukee Bucks trying to win games from the 12th seed when everybody else that's above them is starting to try and lose to get into this tanking position. We're zagging here, and we're going for the wins. How do you feel about our chances of making the play-in and stuff, legitimately?
It's tragic we have to ask that question, isn't it? I do think we have an outside chance. I think what stands between us is a hot Charlotte. That's fine, but a very, very sad-looking Bulls team, which, we were beefing them up earlier in the season as well. So we've had some pretty consistently good takes. I think we've got a decent chance to sneak in there. Golly gosh, I hope we do. I'll be a very sad Tom on hypotheticals on the day we don't make any kind of play in or play off. But I think we've got a decent chance. The extent to which we have a chance to make it will determine whether Giannis comes back. If we're 1 or 2 games away in 2 months, sort of, I'm thinking mid to late March, then I can see Giannis coming back. I can also see them pulling the pin on him. What do you think?
I agree. I think that's what I was saying before. These next few games are really important for the Bucks, even though they're in the 12th position and it doesn't seem like much is on. I really think the future of the Bucks is in some ways kind of on the line here in a weird way. Part of it is does Giannis want to stay? Can this team be competitive enough where Giannis is next season, this is a team I can go to bat with? Can Doc coach a team that doesn't have a star into a position, into the 10th position? That's all we're asking. Can he do that against teams who are trying to tank? And I guess the final thing is what is a success this season for the Milwaukee Bucks? Is it making the playoffs? Is it making the play-in? Is it winning a play-in game? What to me really what it is it's can we look at this team at the end of the season and go 2 years from now, we could be kind of another Detroit or some other team that's or can we be a Raptors? Can we be something can surprise you night to night, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to get sort of destroyed.
The next 5 games that the Bucks are playing are against the Pelicans.
Great.
The Raptors.
Okay.
The Heat.
Okay.
The Cavs. Mm-hmm. And the Knicks. I feel that's a real even
that's
2-3 split. If we can get maybe 3 of those, I can see us. We've got to knock off the Pelicans and the Heat, I'd say. Outside shot with the Raptors. Cavs and Knicks will be tough games. If we get one of those, maybe. Maybe Kuz has a legacy game at MSG.
Oh, be great. All right. Well, Tom, did you have anything else you want to say on the Bucks?
Where there's a Giannis, there's a way, and we still got Giannis.
That's it, mate.
That's where I'm at.
Well, it's time to do... We've already seen the longest intro of any podcast segment that I know of on the internet regularly. Let's go into another unique segment here, Tom. It's not time to call timeout. It's time to call a bit of a rhyme out. Alrighty, hopefully those that are watching along are snapping their fingers because you're welcomed to Rhyme Out, the only basketball consistent poetry segment on the internet in 2026, and I'm happy to say that with my full chest.
I've never seen someone do basketball poetry
Me either.
consistently on the internet on a Bucks-related podcast ever.
These other podcasts need to step up. Well, Tom, I think this week I want to throw to you first. For this All-Star break,
Absolutely.
I think I'd love for you to just sort of soothe the people with some lovely poetry here. Help us relax into this All-Star break weekend.
I've got a little bit of a treat for you because I don't have a Bucks-related poem.
Unheard of, mate.
Absolute treat for the listeners. And this is my All-Star edition of Rhyme Out.
Mm-hmm. Hit us with it. Welcome to the stage, Tom Nix.
Thank you. It's that time of year. NBA fans don't root or cheer. My league pass I don't go near. All-Star weekend is here. Annually we try. The 3-point contest might be good, right? But in the end we lie to ourselves and then cry. I've seen better defense on outside concrete decks and better shot looks from mixed social leagues that cook. I've thought it over and over, what can be done. I've realized what would be fun is a Thanasis and Bronny 1v1.
And I don't think you're going to find one person who disagrees with that, dude. I honestly don't know who doesn't watch Thanasis versus Bronny. Probably one of the biggest gambling events for people that are into gambling in the year. I mean, it's just incredible. Great poem, by the way, Tommy. Loved it. And it's very representative of, I think, how many people feel about the All-Star weekend.
Yeah. I've genuinely seen better shot selection in social league mixed games. You know, I've seen, girls who play netball playing basketball, and they have just better IQ, man. Better passing, better looks, better layup packages. And, All-Star weekend, we got to settle for deep three after deep three. I've seen mans on literal like asphalt outdoor 40-degree days or hosing down, and they're clamps on the defensive end.
That ball is so balled that they are playing with. You can barely grip it.
No net to be seen on that location. And sometimes you look and you go, did that go in? Maybe.
Yeah. It's got the double rim. It's got the bad backboard. It's got everything. And that dude's out there slapping the ground defense.
It's just real life, man.
No,
Anyway.
Yes. Look, Tom, you teed me up for this at the very beginning of the pod, and it's time for me to lay out my fix for the dunk contest, okay? I got two. I'm not even bringing one. I'm bringing two before I bring in my poem, okay? First one is, at this point, I'm so embarrassed by the dunk contest. I'm so embarrassed by what I'm seeing. As I've said, as an NBA fan, it's actually an embarrassment to have this as part of our catalog. I think we do two things. First one is, we get whoever the best dunker in the WNBA is. Let's say maybe Brittany Griner. And if they can't beat her, they're just out of the league. You're gone. And if she wins, she gets Mac McClung's 2-way contract. That's how we do it, all right? It's just that simple. We put
just
the stakes
traded,
that
like
high.
one for one, straight in, straight out. Yeah.
My second one is this. We've got a problem with the dunk contest, which is we're never going to see the dunks that we can see on YouTube in a dunk contest, right? We have a problem. Like, the bar is too high outside of the dunk contest, and we're really trying to see the best dunks. Let's lower the bar a little bit, and here's my solution, okay? Every single team sends one non-player employee as a representative, and they get 3 chances to dunk. Could be the dude who cleans the floors, could be someone in the marketing team. This is exciting, okay? Every team is represented. Like, it could be Bango, the mascot for the Bucks.
I'd actually watch that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
You only get 3 chances to dunk, okay? Imagine he misses his first 2 dunks, how locked in you are for that third dunk. You're like, just put it in, right? We use both sides of the court, so it's like really quick, and basically, because every team's playing, everyone's got a bit of a buy-in. That person, whoever ends up winning the dunk contest for whatever team, becomes a local legend. What do you reckon?
Honestly, man, it's like throw anything at the wall, see what works. But yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think what the NBA needs to do is recognize that they're in the entertainment business. And the dunk contest has, people were dancing, and it's like, okay, steer into the skid, make it entertaining. If that's what you're going to do. Because the thing is, like, people still love a dunk. People still like when you see someone get up and like crank it back, like it's sick. But for whatever reason, the NBA has managed to take one of the most exciting things to happen in basketball and make it the most perfunctory, boring, like embarrassment to the game thing ever. And I think they just need to like really just try some different things. Yeah.
Here's another alternative, man. You know what they should do is they should just get Wemby standing at the rim, and it's like you got to try and dunk on Wemby. That's part of the dunk. All right,
I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's something. All right, Tom, I've got a poem for you, and it's actually a team that we've talked about a surprising amount given their success, which is the I call this poem "Heavy is the head that wears the crown."
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. All right. To be a Kings fan is to wear a heavy crown, one that's sure to turn a smile all the way upside down. All-Star rolls around again, not one monarch in sight. They call themselves the Sacktown Kings, feel like more peasants for the night. So to one Mr. Silver, from the city of gold crowns, let's put this team to pasture and bring Seattle back around. It's just getting sad now. It's like
that was a high quality poem.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah. There was no long bows of the half rhymes that I'm used to seeing, that our faithful are used to seeing in Rhyme Out. But yeah, no, it's grim times to be a fan of the Kings.
I think we've talked about the Kings enough today. Way more than we actually should, to be honest. We've talked about them more than Thanasis and any other obscure Bucks. So that's more than enough for one hypotheticals, I think.
I think it's time to move on to our final and most repeated segment. What an accolade that is.
It's time for Agent Cody Bank. Shoot the ball, Tom.
Oh, I'm going to shoot that. I'm going again.
Uh-huh.
Bugger.
That's...
it's just sitting there too, taunting me.
That's it.
Look at it. Just sitting there.
Drew Holiday snatched that ball, mate. Let's jump into Agent Cody Bank, where, Tom, you and I both act as representatives for someone associated with the NBA. The only thing that's hard about this is that we don't know who we're going to be representing them when we only have 45 seconds to do it. Tom, do you want to be representing your client first as Agent Cody Bank, or do you want me to do it?
I'm more than happy to go first.
All right, mate. Well, I'm going to dish you up. I'm going to dish you up someone. I know we're doing an all-star themed one, but actually, you know what? I'm going to change mine. I'm going to call a change at this juncture.
I'm changing mine too.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you who I was going to do, and then I'm going to tell you who you're actually doing. I wanted to go someone who was not at the All-Star game, and I just wanted to kind of rub this into this person because they had not done well this season, in that their team that they are no longer on is doing extremely well. And that was one coach, Monty Williams, who I don't know if you remember, actually led the Pistons, led the Pistons to their worst losing streak in franchise history. And since he was fired, now the Pistons are doing so well. So that was who I was originally going to give you. But
the Bick has got him, mate.
That's it. But I actually want to give you someone else who is a little bit more all-star related. And there's been a lot of talk. I've actually heard this is this person's last season with this team. It's basically starting to be reported. I want you to represent one. Speaking of crowns, the king, LeBron James.
Here's the thing with basketball. It's about entertainment. And if you're looking to see someone play defense, look elsewhere. I've got LeBron James here, the king. And, I saw this man pull up a deep logo three. It looked great. And then turned around and got beaten. It was actually tough. Got beaten in transition. Literally got circles run around him. I think with LeBron, though, it's the name, it's the market that carries more than anything else. And I think that, with some expiring contracts coming up, any team, the Kings, for example, would do well to sign him. You get LeBron, you get Bronny. And that's a package that's just impossible to defeat. I think a 1-2 punch that we've never seen the likes of before.
The Sacramento King is a headline that I can see. I like it. And the heir apparent, Bronny, who is potentially one of the most Kings players ever.
I'm just saying, if the shoe fits.
Yeah. If you want to win 38 games, he could be someone who could see some serious minutes. I love it. I love it, Tommy.
Well, I'm also throwing you a little bit of a curveball.
Okay.
This is someone who I think maybe could be seeing an all-star game in a couple of seasons. We've mentioned him briefly on the podcast already, and the reason that I think he's deserving a contract is because, he's a restricted free agent in the 26 off-season, and so there is a genuine opportunity here for the team. Jez, I want you to argue for me as to why a one Ousmane Dieng is deserving of the bag, and more than that, deserving of some all-star representation in the next few seasons. Thank you.
Well, there's one man, Ousmane, who holds the key to the Milwaukee Bucks' future. This is a man who's an 11th pick, and when you look at draft picks by the Milwaukee Bucks, our best chance is to get them from other teams because we're never going to hit them. We've seen the likes of a DJ Wilson, who on this podcast has been mentioned many times, but as unfortunately not for positive reasons generally. And Ousmane Dieng is like one of these people where it's like, okay, there's actually talent here. You know who he reminds me of a little bit, like the sort of excitement level I have, is when we got Bobby Portis, who, where you're like, there's just a bit more talent here than I think was being used on the other team. So yeah, I think for me, Ousmane Dieng, he's the man whose name you're going to want to say again and again. It's Ousmane Dieng.
You got there. You got there. I could see you searching, and you got there.
Sometimes you can see that in the other person. You can see they either land something too early, and then they just have to sort of sputter for the rest. I was the opposite. I was like sputtering for the whole thing, hoping to land something.
The plane. We got there in the end. You're spot on. We're not getting first-round picks anytime soon, so we just got to nick them off other teams. And I'm excited, man. This could be it. Like I think they're hungry, and that's what Giannis is looking for. He's looking for players that actually want to get a contract and they care. Because heaven knows there are some people who are getting cut at the end of this season.
And
I'm looking at you, Gary Trent Jr. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Cole Anthony.
Did you have anything else, Tommy, you wanted to leave people with this All-Star break?
Fear the Deer and Finn.
Finn.